everybody.
Hello.
Jim and Marty here. We are in Marty's garage in Friendship, Pennsylvania. This garage has been the scene of the start of many a bike ride, including one of the bike rides in our new book, Get Up and Ride, the Camino de Santiago. We're very excited about the new book.
Sir.
And so what we'd like to do is just kind of a quick Q&A about the book. Maybe answer some questions that might be in your mind about it. So we have Belle. Belle is Marty's wife, and introduce yourself, Belle.
Hi,
Belle.
I'm
All
Belle.
right.
Nice to see you, Guar fans.
And she's my wife, Katie's sister. We were married 3 weeks apart back in 1988. And Belle's the illustrator for the book, very involved in the book, and Belle's going to be our host today, and you'll hear her voice off camera. So, Belle, do you have any questions for us that maybe our viewers might be interested in asking?
Oh, I sure do. So, fellas, why the Camino? What gave you the idea of cycling that rather than another trail?
It's kind of a crazy idea, but I guess we were looking for something big. Marty had turned 65, just retired maybe a year before. I was just turning 60 and was getting ready to retire. And we were talking about different routes we could do. We'd done the Gap and C&O 3 times, which is awesome. But we were just looking for something different. And we'd both seen the movie The Way with Martin Sheen when it came out in 2010. And I remembered seeing a scene in that movie where there were two bikers passing by. It's a very fleeting scene. And thinking, maybe we could ride that someday. So one day I was on a work Zoom and it was on my mind. I got up, called Marty, and I said, hey, I got an idea. Camino, something to do. And Marty was all over it. And eventually he used the phrase, what was that phrase you used?
Well, Jim called me very excited about it, and I thought, that's a great idea. So why don't you see what you can do? Maybe we can make that happen.
So we saw what we could do, we made it happen.
So, how is it different than the Gap and C&O ride?
It's extremely different. They're two different trails entirely. They're two different end goals. They're two different kinds of people you meet on. Everything about the Camino is unique to the Camino.
Yeah, it's for those of you who may not be familiar with it, it's a medieval pilgrimage route that's been in existence for over 1,000 years. It runs across northern Spain, and now there are multiple Camino routes, all leading to this town of Santiago de Compostela. And so we rode what's called the Camino France, which starts the French way. It starts in the French Pyrenees and goes all the way to near the coast of Spain on the western side.
So, do you guys know any Spanish? Was the language barrier an issue?
Hola!
Nada.
I learned maybe 3 or 4 phrases beforehand. Marty didn't learn any, but he may do. What did you do there?
I started adding an O to most words, like, where are we going, O? Which way, O? To the bar, O?
Hey, you did learn one word. That was kind of
I
important.
did. Cerveza.
Yay!
I use that word a lot.
Beer.
Beer, yes.
So, what was the most memorable place you went to?
For me, I mean, everything is memorable. The most memorable was probably the Iron Cross, where it's a place along the Camino where traditionally, over the millennia, people have bought their tokens of their whatever burdens they were carrying and left them there symbolically.
Usually a stone, but it could be something else too, yeah.
And in our case, it was Belle gave us something. Belle gave Jimmy and I both something to take there, and we both had a very reflective moment there. And it was awesome.
Did you meet many pilgrims along the way?
Yes, we did. And that was probably the greatest part of it, because people come from all around the world to do this. I met people from every continent, and people do it for different reasons. We met people who lost loved ones that were working through that. We met people who had gotten a cancer diagnosis, who were on the Camino to kind of work through that and process that. And we just met people who were there just for fun, recreation, bucket list adventure. One meeting that sticks out in my mind was probably day 2. We met a guy who was by himself on an e-bike who had lost his wife the year before, and he had her ashes that he was carrying with him on the e-bike, and he was riding all the way from the French border to the coast. So equivalent of basically 500 miles, and he was going to spread her ashes in the ocean and then ride all the way back. So a 1,000-mile round trip to remember his wife. And so, yeah, some really amazing encounters with great people.
So some people have life-changing experiences on the Camino. Did anything significant happen to either of you?
I can't say it was any singular thing, just the entire experience of being on the Camino, meeting the people we met, seeing the things that we saw, experiencing the history. It was all just incredible.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, again, nothing super life-changing, but we did, it just gave us a lot of time together to have a lot of fun. And then through the meeting of these people and hearing about their experience and what's going on in their lives, just you return, I would say, maybe with a renewed hope for humanity. There's just so much positivity there. Nobody asks, you know, where you're from or what politics you have or religion or any of that stuff. It's just all, people just want to support each other. We actually met one woman, there was 3 people who had saved a total stranger who was drowning in a torrent of a river that had swollen. And this woman with her backpack got caught in it. And these people went in and saved her. So you have that kind of stuff going on probably every day on the Camino.
So, what's this book
No,
about?
foot on there. You have your foot on there, thanks.
What's this book about? How is it different from the first Get Up and Ride?
Yeah, I'd say it's similar in a lot of ways in that there's humor, there's our relationship, there's some stories from our past, and yet you got maybe a couple of new elements in there. One is the ride was a challenge, big time challenge. The terrain was tough, weather was hard, climbing. We climbed about 20,000 feet, and so even though we prepared and trained a lot, it was tough. So that's different. You don't have that element necessarily in the first book. And then I would say the introspective element is different too. Some of the stories we've just been talking about, that's different. But you also have a lot of funny stuff too. So we hope you guys really enjoy this book. We've had a lot of fun talking about it, preparing it. And in fact, I just saw a box appear here, and I wonder, Marty, if you could bring that box up.
Oh, this box
so we
here?
can take a look at what might be in there. Yeah,
This one right here?
yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. It just popped up right here.
Looks heavy.
Oh my God.
It says heavy. Whoa!
It's
Okay.
very heavy.
Yeah, so we might have it here. Oh! We got some books that arrived.
Oh, look at that. That
Get Up and Ride, the Camino.
is what you're looking for.
It's available today on Amazon, hardcover, Kindle, and paperback. So we hope you guys really enjoy it. Thank you for supporting us and being interested in our story. We'd love to hear your feedback on the book. And thanks so much. You guys have a great day.
Long Camino.
Get up and ride. Bye-bye.
Is that better?